Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun, but surprisingly, it's not the hottest. With no real atmosphere to spread heat around, one side is an inferno reaching 430 degrees Celsius, while the dark side plunges to minus 180 degrees Celsius. But don't imagine you'd be half fried, half frozen at once. That's not how heat transfer works. Instead, you'd be cooked alive if you landed on the sunlit side or frozen solid in the shadow. But the real killer? Solar radiation. With no magnetic field or atmosphere, the sun's unfiltered rays would blast through your cells, scrambling your DNA and cooking you from the inside. It wouldn't be a quick death. It would be the slow agony of radiation poisoning, skin blistering, eyes burning, organs failing. And if that wasn't bad enough, a single step into Mercury's eternal night, and you'd become a human ice sculpture, forever frozen in the darkness. Venus. If you had to choose the worst planet to die on, Venus is the undisputed champion. It's not just deadly, it's the definition of overkill. The moment you descend into its thick, yellow clouds, sulfuric acid begins eating away at your skin and eyes. But that's the least of your worries. The atmosphere is 96% carbon dioxide, meaning your first breath would be your last. Your lungs wouldn't just suffocate, they'd dissolve. But assuming you could survive that first breath, the real nightmare begins on the surface. 475 degrees Celsius, hotter than Mercury, hot enough to melt lead. Your body wouldn't just burn, it would break down chemically, turned into a scorched husk. And as a final insult, the atmosphere is 92 times denser than Earth's, equivalent to being 3,000 feet underwater. Your bones would snap, your lungs would collapse, and within moments, you'd be a flattened, fried, acid-burned relic of what was once human. Mars. Mars looks peaceful, almost inviting. But don't be fooled, it's a silent assassin. The air is almost pure carbon dioxide, so suffocation would be nearly instant. But unlike Venus, Mars doesn't cook you. It steals every last bit of heat from your body. At night, temperatures drop to minus 130 degrees Celsius, and with almost no atmospheric pressure, your blood would boil before freezing. Your tears and saliva would vaporize, your lungs would hemorrhage, and within seconds, your brain would shut down. But the worst part? Mars wouldn't even let you die quickly. Without bacteria or moisture, your body would be preserved for centuries, frozen in place, waiting for the next unlucky visitor. Jupiter. Jupiter has no solid ground, just endless storms and crushing pressure. Falling into its atmosphere would be like jumping into a cosmic blender. At first, you'd fall through 120-mile-per-hour winds in its upper atmosphere, gas swirling around you in chaotic turbulence. Then the pressure starts building. 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times Earth's atmosphere. Your body, held together by delicate bones and soft tissue, stands no chance. Within minutes, you're crushed into pulp, compacted into a dense speck, before eventually becoming part of Jupiter itself. There would be no remains, no trace. Jupiter doesn't just kill you, it swallows you whole. Saturn. If you fell into Saturn, it would feel strangely familiar at first. Clouds, wind, a sense of falling. But this is where the similarities end. The deeper you go, the more Saturn's pressure builds. Unlike Jupiter, Saturn has layers upon layers of different gases, each more exotic and toxic than the last. You'd suffocate long before you felt the crushing force, and eventually, you'd be reduced to atoms, sinking forever into its core. But if you wanted a more poetic death, you could try diving through Saturn's rings, only to be shredded by speeding ice and rock particles traveling at 48,000 miles per hour. Uranus. Uranus is an enigma, a planet tipped on its side, cloaked in mystery. It doesn't seem as violent as Jupiter or as hellish as Venus, but that doesn't mean it's kind. Here, the air is laced with hydrogen, helium, and methane, meaning one breath would choke you instantly. But the real horror is the cold. Minus 224 degrees Celsius, the coldest temperature in the solar system. Your body would freeze so quickly that ice crystals would form inside your cells, slicing them apart from the inside. And if the cold didn't get you, the sheer nothingness would. You'd fall endlessly into Uranus's depths, slowly compressed into a tiny fraction of your former self. Neptune. Neptune is cold, dark, and home to the fastest winds in the solar system, 1,200 miles per hour. That's faster than the speed of sound. If you found yourself here, the winds alone would rip you apart, tearing flesh from bone before you even had time to freeze. And if you somehow survived that, you'd keep falling, deeper and deeper, the pressure building, your body crushed until it was nothing but atoms, sinking into Neptune's endless depths. So, where's the best place to die? Earth. Even if it's boring, at least it gives you the dignity of dying at your own pace. Everywhere else, the universe doesn't just kill you, it does it with style.